I need somebody to open.
You want here? Why don't you ask your Shane over this for you?
I was opening this. I was about to open it for it. I was playing with it. I opened it.
I'm live. I'm live. I'm live.
I said hi.
Come on. See you in a minute, boo. Love you. Hi, everybody. I hope everybody's afternoon is going well. Oh, well. La, 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 la. So, today I wanted to just quickly chime in just for a couple of minutes. And can I say something? Can I say something? As Mr. J. Wilson say. Can I say something? Can I say something? Okay, I'm sorry. So I'm chiming in on a couple of things. First, I wanted to kind of chime in on the situation in New Jersey. Now, in light of the situation with Brother George Floyd and murder, and I really want to say, you know, I really wish they would stop saying the arrest of George Floyd because to me it just undermines it minimalizes what actually happened because the man was murdered, period, point blank. So they need to stop saying with the arrest of George Floyd because he was flat out murdered, and they need to address it that way and stop saying alleged or whatever. Because good God Almighty, it was on film, and that's just that. But my issue now with what's going on is with Mr. the current commander in chief. I just refuse to call that man a president because he is just not president material, and I don't care who don't like it. I don't care for him, period. I don't care for his, more than anything, and let me make this clear. It's not a Democratic Republican thing at all. It's competence. And he is incompetent if you ask me. He might be a good businessman, but he is not a good leader as far as leader of a free world or leader of the United States of America. He's just not. Period. And anybody that I don't know how people could think anyway. And so for the people that are in New Jersey that are protesting and mimicking the death of George Floyd by having people lay out in the ground and kneeling on their neck, by people posting pictures of this man with arrows pointed at his nose saying, this N word. Now, how you gonna tell me that this N word can't breathe? So they're saying with the nose that's his size or whatever, he should be able to breathe through anything, I guess. And then there are other people that are posting pictures saying, with their knees, with knees on their neck, saying, "I'm not dead yet." So they're making light of the situation of this man's death when he has family members, children, and everybody else that's sitting back watching this. And the whole world is becoming divided, the whole United States. Now, you have people in other countries um, that are protesting, of all ethnic backgrounds, that are protesting in support of um, the situation with Mr. Floyd and his family. And not just them, but the Breonna Taylors of the world and the other people that have been victimized by police brutality. Now, this is not, again, it's just not a black white issue. This is a Black Lives Matter situation because predominantly black people are the ones who have been um, killed and abused by police authorities. Even if they want to go to statistics, statistically, there are a higher percentage of black people that have been um, abused by authorities than there have been of any other ethnicities. So, for them to make light of this and for them to, have such a hateful disposition and to, at the same time, show their support for the current leader, the current commander in chief, which is Donald Trump. They have Donald Trump posters, they have flags, they have billboards and all type bumper stickers and all this type of things to show that they are in support of Donald Trump. Yet he has not released any statement being either apologetic for what happened to Mr. Floyd, nor has he released any disassociating himself with the behavior of the people that are doing these types of things. So for that, that just simply lets me to think that birds of a feather flock together. If they are in support of you and you have nothing to say about, okay, that's not a good thing, let's not act like this, let's be peaceful and, this, that, and the other. No, they're laying out in the middle of the ground with their hands on the neck and yelling out um, effing N word and piece of shit and all that in the videos and during their protest and whatnot, and he is not saying a word. As a matter of fact, when he did a speech not too long ago, he made a speech with a bunch of police officials standing behind him, and he was saying things like um oh, don't be afraid to arrest anybody. Just when you're putting them in the thing, just put your hand over the head and just put them on in the car. And they all laughed, making light of the situation with George Floyd and the situation with his people, with his family, and with all the other victims of police brutality or what have you. And in most cases, the brutality are the victims of this brutality are white officers on black victims. Now, if you're not in support of that type of thing, he should have by now. It's gone on long enough where he could have released a statement saying that we're looking forward to the authorities looking into this matter, and we're certain that we're going to come to the bottom and justice will be served in whatever way possible, in the best way, whatever, being in support of rights. He has not done that. He's not going to do that because he is just as hateful and bigoted as the people that are out there making a mockery of this man's death. They 9 times out of 10, and these are my own statistics and ratios, but 9 times out of 10, most Trump supporters are anti-black, anti uh, multicultural, multiracial. Um, they're bigoted individuals, self-hating individuals, or people that 9 times out of 10 have something very negative to say about lower class people or underclass people or underprivileged people. If you are not, again, in support of that, you need to speak out against it. Why hasn't Mr. Trump made any statements opposing the behaviors of these people? Simply because he's one of them. And it's very unfortunate. And then we have little Miss Candace, little Miss Motormouth Candace. Now, everybody should have everybody has a right to speak their minds. Everybody has a right to verbalize their opinions. Everyone has a right to be expressive of those opinions as long as they are not hateful and that will cause division. Um, Miss Candace is married to a non-black individual, and she is a black woman. Not a problem with that. Um, but she has everything negative to say every time a black individual is killed or victimized or what have you. Now, she did say that what happened with George Floyd was wrong, but she stated that she will not make him a martyr. Okay, I get that. I mean, you don't have to make him a martyr because nobody is making him a hero. We're clearly stating that he was a victim. Nobody's saying he was a hero. He might have done wrong things, but there is no way that you can justify Miss Candace and anyone else that because someone is stealing or have committed a nonviolent crime or what have you, that they deserve to die at the hands of police authorities. They have the right to due process. They have a right to be tried and convicted or acquitted or what have you. And then if they were convicted, then punishment um, brought to them for whatever was suitable for the offense. But it does not give an individual the right to say, oh, you stole $10, you stole $20, you wrote a bad check, or you passed a bad bill, kill them. And in essence, that's what happened. And he killed them on film for the world to see. And not only did he participate, but the other officers as well. So, and just as if there was a civilian that had committed a crime and there were other individuals that knew about it or participated in it or is one way or the other, they will get charged just as well with either the same crime, the same offense, or accessory after the fact, or whatever the case may be. So it does not minimalize what the whole protest and all of that means for Mr. George Floyd. No one's trying to make him a martyr. Nobody's trying to erect a likeness of him in the middle of the city and say he is our black hero. No, but we want to remind people that no one has the right to take a life, no, convict them in their own um, process and give them a death sentence because they feel like that individual was wrong for this or that, and that we are tired of being treated in any type of way simply because of the colors of our skin. Um, I was born in Indiana. I was raised between Indiana and Detroit, Michigan. While I was coming up in Indiana, we lived in a neighborhood that was, we were the only black family. I have been spat on, spat at, cans and bottles and paper and all that type thrown at me. I've been called the N word. I have been in a car with my peers. I was the only black person and they were all white and they all crowded in the front seat of the car because no one wanted to sit next to the black girl. Been there. I know what it's like to be racially profiled, picked on. I've been accused of things that I didn't do because I was the only black person in the crowd, and it wasn't me. Hang on. I'm outside, but I'm outside, and I see you said the address. I see 1502, but I don't see. See, the color different. It's a neon or something. No, that's a different. It's by the silver car. Yeah, but hang on, guys. I apologize. So my point, I'm sorry. My point is that for um, people to have been racially profiled and to have gone through all of the things that we have gone through in the amount of time that we have gone through it for over the 400 years, we were enslaved, and we never got retribution or what have you, and to continuously be treated the way that we are being treated, um, it's not gonna stop. It's not gonna stop. And when you have a person who is making people think that it's okay to continue to act that way, then what do you expect for people to do? What do you expect for people to do? You can't expect for people to not um protest, to not be angry, to not be upset, um, and to not express the feelings that they have a right to express. So, with that being said, I think it's time for y'all's president, not mine. I think it's time for him to stand up and to speak out because that's the only way at this point that there will be any any rest. There will continue to be civil unrest as long as you have a president that continues to condone the behaviors of these people that are out there making mockery and continuously killing our sisters and our brothers. People are tired. They're not going to take it anymore. And all we want to be is recognized and respected. We have a constitution that states that black people are less than a human, less than a man, and we are continuously being treated in that manner. So until we are recognized and treated the way that we should be treated, they're not going to change, unfortunately. And it's not because I said so, it's that that's the way the masses feel. And I hate to see it happen. I hate to see it, but he is really causing a lot of racial tension and um, a lot of the civil uproar. Because he acts, he cares. He doesn't care about the way people are acting. He doesn't care about what he says. He doesn't care about showing his bigoted ways. He doesn't care. He does not care. And a lot of people say that his two little tokens, Diamond and Silk, they have disassociated themselves because of what they said about the coronavirus. Cut it out. No, they no longer had use for Ren and Stimpy, so they let them go. The coronavirus, uh, uh, if they let them go because of a statement that they made about the coronavirus, why isn't he speaking out about people posing for pictures with their necks on the back of other individuals making mockery of the death of George Floyd? Why isn't he saying anything about it? Why isn't he doing anything about it? Why will he allow it to continue without trying to bring some type of a peaceful resolution to it until he recognizes it, until the government recognizes that we are more than less than one third or one fourth of an individual, as the Constitution states? First of all, they need to change that. Second of all, they need to change their minds and the way that they act. I'm not saying that you can change the mind of every bigoted individual, but you can change the conduct, or you can at least give them consequences for the conduct. That's my piece on that, but I'll be back a little bit later because I did want to talk about another issue on the Nature Boy thing. And oh my goodness, I got something to tell y'all. I will be back. Thank you for coming in. Please like, share the video. Thanks for coming in. Chime in, leave your comments below, like and subscribe. I love you on purpose. Ain't nothing you can do about it. Have a blessed day. Y'all just talking through my.
I'm sorry. I didn't know what you were doing. I'm sorry.